This is Justin AMZN on Friday, August 10th, 2018. And today is a palindrome if you drop out the 281018. Anyway, moving on. The next many days are also palindromes. Anyway, yeah, so the had a little bit of a sell-off pre-market. Came down into 1887 area here, which pretty close to the resistance we hit 2 days ago and broke out, retested to, and then that was our pivot that we broke through and came back down to here. So we're right around that same price, looking to see, okay, is this going to hold us support? What's going to happen? We're also gapping down from this selling yesterday. So, in that regard, it's more or less a bearish retest gap, just not on the daily, on probably the hourly or the any smaller time frame than daily, basically. Maybe not 4 hour, but anyway, we'll see if this holds as some sort of resistance support here, and if it can bounce, because it's essentially retesting on a longer time than this one and then this one. But there's quite a bit of selling from a double top here on the 5 minutes. So I would not be surprised if it came down to the line here, or like we were talking about yesterday, came down into 1880 and then bounced. So we'll just walk into the day and see what happens. So right off the bat, we do somewhat hold this price. At least we only wick down slightly. And it looks like we're doing the retest of this gap down. Throw up a nice upper wick here, and really shows a whole lot of selling. Even though it ends bullish candle, it's not a very strong candle to the upside. And so what I really like about this is it really sets up a lot of people here to be trapped. People thinking, okay, it is bouncing off of this, it's just going to go. And there's still just a lot of people who bought up and then got stopped out down here, or people just taking profit. This shows people taking profit, but anybody who's buying, you're really too late to be buying this. So another candle, inside candle, another inside candle. This is looking great. If it does continue up a little higher, great. If it rolls down, this is a great place to do it. Getting below these lows, like 1892 by 1897, it's a $5 risk. And that's what starts to happen. It comes back down and throws a couple small candles in here. So you're only up about an R right here. And it's coming into the low in the day. And you want to continue lower. But instead, it starts to bounce again. So I'm seeing a slightly higher low. And then I'm wondering, okay, are we going to get a lower high also at this point if it's reversing again? That's what we get. And then through the day, all we're doing is going sideways in this area. We sort of have relative highs here, but still it's lower highs, higher lows. This angle is much more defined here. And so we just want to wait. We got a really long squeeze forming, lower volume, and we're just waiting to see, okay, what's this going to do? So in here we've got now still higher lows, lower or relative highs. Really interesting candle here. We don't really have one where the open and the close are so close. So 2 cents off from each other. I didn't see any that were that close. This one's pretty close. Let's see, where's this one? Close. That's 9 cents. So down here we're getting some value or some candles that are this really tight open and close. So I'm picturing this kind of a wave, an S curve to that candle. So within 5 minutes, it's there's some people pushing it up, some people bringing it down, and all the while we're just going sideways in here, looking for anything to happen. So my thinking is that yes, we're still above this level, this 1887 level from the other day, but there's a whole lot of bearishness coming in. And if there's, this is definitely a reversal. Did it pull back enough yet? I kind of doubt it. The way we were sitting above the exponentials on the daily, we got that squeeze that just fired on the daily. We're definitely pulled back a little bit. It's okay for this to go sideways or to pull back and to just not be so bullish. So this is people who are late, getting in bullish, pushing this up. There's a lot more bearishness coming in. There's 3 candles in a row here, 3 in a row here. What's that? Six in a row here. You know, the most we've had is, well, I guess this was 4 there, 3 there, 4 there. Instead of having so many bullish candles in a row and such larger candles, now we've got a couple, and then they're met by bearish candles, more bearish, and it just feels like we're getting more bearish. So I really like that we've got some really indecisive candles in this area, right on that triangle vertex, and so continue moving sideways, and it's, you know, we're just stair stepping all through this. It's like, okay, how much further could this go? It's about 12:30 lunchtime, central time zone. I really want to see this roll over for the afternoon. It'd be a phenomenal place to get in bearish, you know, the breakdown below 1891 and a stop at 1894. That's $3 risk on expiration Friday. That's, I mean, you don't even have to worry about the stop range or that setup if you're doing absolute zero with options. And so that's what I was looking for today to get into. And so this thing starts to go bearish. And I think I noticed it around here or maybe the next candle. I'm like, oh, this is great. Let me set up a trade. If I get a little bit of a wick up, back up into this, then, you know, I should be in, should be good, and we'll see what happens. So now it just actually starts to move much faster. The trigger, or the squeeze has triggered. Have a little bit of inside candle continuation, stair stepping, and then, you know, a nice little triangle here that's breaking down. So obviously this triangle has broken down, and so far it's not really retesting, which is even more bearish, that it's just going to push lower. So still in view is our line down here, and it'd be great if we moved all the way to it, but we don't quite get there, which that's where I've got my line. But after seeing this happen and then this, it doesn't quite get there again, or get down here again. It makes me want to move my line back up to what would have been the high, the all-time high. And for some reason, I'm not able to edit these values. I think I'm going to need to shut this down. Nothing's letting me edit. Nothing's locked in here. So I'm going to have to move that when I fire this Thinkorswim up again, because it's just not working. If we zoom out, you can see, okay, if I put this at 1880, just call it 1880. We bounced off here, here, and then again here. But we did pull back. You know, this was a quick breakout, pullback. This was a little bit longer breakout and pull back. This one much larger breakout and pull back. This starts to look like a shoulder, a head, and possibly another shoulder if we get another small candle like this, and then possibly pull back even more, which means that the squeeze in the daily should actually pull back a little bit more. And we just made an all-time high. It's okay for this to pull back some more. It feels like we've broken away from how some of these look, because we have a really small bearish candle, and that was one, but this made an all-time high when it did it. This one's actually pulled back from the all-time high. Was a gap down, and I'm not really seeing that in terms of something that's, you know, marking the end of the bullish move. So I'm just going to look through some more candles here and just see if there's something like that. Let's see, all-time high is bearish, all-time high bearish, bearish. That one's really close. Oh, that one, bearish. These larger bearish candles making an all-time high. Most of these all-time high candles were bearish. There's one that's bullish. This one gapped up, but, you know, for here, made it with the bullish candle and not a bearish candle. So this is the first time we actually have gapped down from an all-time high, I think. Oh no, I guess this one, big gap down, trapping. Let's see, most of these are gap ups, sold off from the bullish candle. So just interesting to see that we made an all-time high with the bullish candle, then gap down on the next bearish one. something's kind of changing there. Not to say it's going to totally reverse, but my guess is this slowing, we've made higher highs more slowly than, I guess from here to here is pretty shallow angle. I wonder if that angle and this angle have any relationship. I don't know. But going from this steep, making all time highs, to this steep, and then back up to this steep and this steep. There's just some variations in how it's sloping up, how it's continuing, and it would be great if it rests a little more in this range, right around 1900 and 1800. I'm sorry, right around 1800 if it rests in this range. And there'd be a phenomenal pullback. If it were to pull back that much, it's only about a 5% pullback, maybe a little bit more, but that's totally acceptable for it to do that. And I really like today's candle being this indecision candle with a gap down. This is a inside candle. The lows here are off by less than $1, so this is still something that could be an even star reversal. You could trigger below low here. You could trap everybody in this and continue higher and stick with the squeeze. There's a lot of different things that could happen. So watching Monday morning for the pre-market, see if it's gapping at all, see if it's trapping everybody here and above here. But all we've done really is retest to a previous all-time high. So if we come back into the 5-minute, zoom in on this. After seeing that candle, it's really hard to go bullish. With this consolidation, then you may have had time to set up a bearish trade, but it would have been good for like an R. And then a bullish trade down here where you had support, but then you're looking for it to come back up here and it doesn't, and it rolls back down. So you probably exit for maybe a very small gain or a small loss, hopefully a very small loss. And then it starts to rally again in the same level. So playing this, once I saw this low, this higher low come in, I'm looking for a lower high. And then I just know, okay, I got to step away for a couple hours because this will just chop around. And if you get some conviction that it's actually moving and it doesn't, you place to trade and you're in it, and then it goes either way. There's so many things that could happen. So that's just one thing I like. So this is about 12:30 Central when this starts to break down. This one was really difficult to get to catch. Had you waited to here, looking for that to break down, I mean, this would be a phenomenal place to get it. But I missed the entry getting in here. I think it went through on 12:40, 12:45, something like that. One of these candles I had, I'll go look at the put. There's the 5-minute, and so if I go look at the put, it must have been this candle. This got ahead, and then I think I had this when I had a setup to get in at $1 with a stop at 0 or no stop essentially, and didn't come back down, didn't retest to there. And I didn't set it up again for grabbing any of this consolidation, but it could have worked if I just moved things up 150 by 50 or 150 by 1. And that would have been a phenomenal gain, flipped it out for a few R and just that trade, and then possibly reverse that. But let's go look at this and see where this actually played out. So this was at 130 Central. So 130, yeah, not even a blip on the 1900. The 1900 put is something we were looking at the other day, or just yesterday, I believe, because I was talking about how I could have bought here off these lows. Well, now I've got a low that lines up just by tracking the chart. So this bounces off, actually has a nice quick gain. Hopefully you exit it there, and then comes right back into it, and then bounces small, and then looks like it's going to try again, but then collapses through. Breaks out, does not continue, and just continues to lose value on the puts. But it's possible that there could have been something gained with moving this, or some puts or something that may bring in some value on this last day. So that's the call. Go back to the put. Let me get rid of this because I don't want this to stay on here. There we go. And then there's the put. So again, just being patient. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and then it's right here. This is lower lows, but this starts to look like a wedge pattern where this is a shallower low and a steeper high. And then it needs some sort of catalyst to actually get it going. And you may have been able to have a tighter stop than the one I was talking about, like 50 by 0. So your absolute zero play is the, just a few options to get that. Excuse me, sorry. So where we go from here, zoom back out and see this. I would like to see another retest of this breakdown. It's right around 1890 or so, 1891, 92, somewhere in there, where it retests this value and then rolls back down a couple bucks. But things are definitely changing with some of the patterns forming, and just with this consolidation here broke down. This this bullishness is definitely changing. So changing on a short-term time frame. So anyway, with that caveat, take a look at the 5 minute on your own, see what you decide on what it's doing, and hope you enjoy the video. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.